Only one IIT was there, Kharagpur. I wrote the entrance. Obviously, I got good marks because they offered interview call and all. I traveled to Kharagpur from Chennai. Some people put into my head that you should take mechanical engineering. And the interviewers kept pushing, we'll offer you architecture. I said, I want mechanical. We'll give you architecture. They got irritated. So I asked them, why? Don't get irritated, but why are you offering me architecture? I want to be an engineer. He said in the entrance test, the word joint was not there. It's only an entrance because only one IIT. There was a section on freehand drawing. Okay, in addition to math, literary, and logical analysis sections, there was a section on freehand visualization drawing. I remember there were three scenes one had to choose from: a railway station entry and people coming out and stuff like that. Then a distant scene of a river, bridge, and stuff like that. And third scene was a village well with people drawing water, some people sitting on a little wall there. If you can imagine, anybody has gone to a village and see that scene. It is only words were there, suggestive. That is one of the scenes you choose and draw it. So I chose the village scene and did the drawing. Freehand drawing with pencil and maybe rubber. He told me that all India basis I stood number one in two things: logical analysis and freehand drawing. He said, you are a visual thinker, therefore architecture suits you, we want to give you architecture. I said, no, I want mechanical engineering. Stubborn, no? So they didn't give me, got tired of me. I said, you can go home now, collect your TADA and vacate your room and go. So I went back to Chennai. So my father didn't understand what happened to me, why I didn't get this. But later on, I applied to another Andhra University Engineering College in Visakhapatnam on the East Coast. I was promptly within 3 days letter came. You are put merit list number 1 rank, so please come and pay your fee. So I went there. There also I wanted mechanical, but there were some problems there, so I ended up being an electrical engineer. Then I have to try for jobs. I thought being an electrical engineer, maybe electrical manufacturing companies like Jyoti, Crompton, Siemens, Greaves Cotton, like that, they will need electrical engineer. I wrote to all the electrical engineering companies in Kolkata and Pune and like Kirloskar, Pune and Bombay. Nobody replied. Then I consulted one of my family friends, senior person. He says, why nobody is replying? He said, the manufacturing companies don't want electrical engineers. They want mechanical engineers. The technology of how a motor runs or a pump runs is immaterial. It is machining and foundry, casting, assembly. This is all mechanical engineering. Then, since I belong to the Andhra, the AP State Electricity Board started offering jobs to all electrical graduates in the state. Without application, job offer will come at home. So I joined there. It was disgusting to say. So, like that, 3 months passed. One day, one of my cousin brothers from Calcutta came and I told them, this is what is happening to me. That if you are willing to come to Calcutta, I will get you a job. How much it pays? 250 rupees during training period. Well, I am getting electricity board 147 rupees. So, okay, Calcutta, 250 rupees. Fine, here is a go. Then there is an interview. The company is a private company called Indian Oxygen Limited. Okay, it is a British company, 100% British-owned company. Then my cousin told me that, look, you have to hide your engineering degree because minimum qualification for this is 12th. Okay. So I followed instructions. I didn't show them my engineering certificate. But they are very clever people, age, 4 or 5 years gap. They asked me, what you are doing this 4 years? I said, I'm mad about cricket and I missed many things and my father gave me a beating. I told my mother and came here. 12th result is good. Recommendation is there. My cousin brother is working in the account section there. Account section recommendation generally works because factory people are afraid of the accounts people. Okay. So I was selected. What is the job? A welder apprentice, welding apprentice. 9 months course in welding school. No theory, just practical. Welding. Morning, noon, evening. I did steel welding, brass welding, cast iron welding, stainless steel welding, tungsten inert gas welding, MIG welding. high pressure boiler welding, X-ray welding, copper welding, everything about welding. It was wonderful. Pure hard work, no thinking, no mental, nothing. Go home by 5. I got a PG in Rash Bihari, area called Baliganj. Have a bath, change clothes, and stand at the Kalighat Junction. Kalighat Junction means Rash Bihari Road and Kalighat Temple Road cross. There, for a 21-year-old guy, you stand at the cross section, tram lanes, bus lanes, and all people going to Kalighat Temple. World's most, let us say, collection of wonderful Bengali girls in best dress going across the junction. What more you want? You sit in a roadside chai ka dukan, have luchias and chai and heaven, right? In the process, the company discovered that after all, I am having engineering degree. They didn't throw me out. Offered me a job as a technical sales rep for gases and electrodes in Bombay. Gave me a scooter, company scooter. I was a little prince, 550 rupees salary, all expense paid scooter. Staying in, if you know Bombay, Matunga, junction PG in Matunga, Chandavarkar Road, there is a hotel called Narayan Rao's, Udupi Mess. So for 60 rupees, he used to give 60 coupons exchangeable for unlimited breakfast or unlimited meal. So we called it dine and dance at Narin's. And time was spent like that. The reason I'm saying this is, these initial steps just do not matter at all. What matters is you make the best of everything that you come across without loss of time. You have to say, I'm here, what is the best I can make? Because you are not going to change that here. You can only change yourself. Any given situation is too complex for you to change the entire situation. So if you want to be best there in that situation, you have to evaluate yourself. The situation demands this. What is my profile? What do I know? What can I do? What can I learn? Every day, preferably every hour, like that. So I was working like that, and one day I got into an accident in a scooter because one of the air-conditioned reception rooms in Bombay was Glaxo in Annie Besant Road. Even the reception entry for visitors was air-conditioned. So other companies are just like that. So I tried to be, if I'm in that area between 1 and 2, I tried to just enter just at 12:45. Otherwise, you can't enter. And take out my dabba or something. And if I'm appearing there almost every week, once or twice, then the receptionist got friendly with me and she started bringing me, "Aaj main Karela banaya, main aapke liye leke like that." My God, what is happening here? Anyhow, in that, I was just late by 5 minutes or 2 minutes. I was speeding along, zoom, zoom, zoom. Annie Besant Road divider came in that year, that is 62. So suddenly, all the cars before Century Bazaar Junction or something like that, all the cars came to dead stop. And I am going at 60 miles on a scooter. How do you stop a scooter? It's very, very damn difficult to go at speed and stop it in any reasonable length of time. I had two choices. I said, make the best of everything instantaneously. Choice, hit the car in front, sure death. Or the divider, I hit the divider. I thought of this, a very clever plan. Hit the divider, jump from the seat, and hopefully I will land and scooter will land somewhere else. But my plan worked. I didn't hit the car. I hit this thing. I jumped. I thought I am lucky. I am very clever. But scooter has its own thought. Instead of landing somewhere else, after I fell, scooter rose and fell down. So then I said, it's hard to change the situation. You have to adapt. Then I got up to put the scooter aside and checked my hands and feet. My hand was broken here. I lost, I said, hand should hang like this, but it is hanging from the middle here. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these were broken fingers. I said, my apahij ho gaya, I'm good for nothing. Okay. And then I lost consciousness. But the car which I didn't hit belonged to Dr. Talwar. He had two nursing homes, one in Matunga and one in next to Taj Mahal Hotel, North Court Nursing Home. Is still there, one of the best orthopedic nursing homes in the country. So he took me to he was going that side, he took me there. By the time I regained consciousness, he had put all those steel spokes and everything, repaired my hand, and then he asked me, what are you doing? I'm working so and so. Does your company has insurance on you? I said, I don't have to check. So I said, why are you asking this question? If you have insurance, I'm going to charge them 25,000. Okay. If they don't have insurance, you can't pay my fee in any way. Yes. Okay. So that is situation. They paid. But while I was laying broken in that nursing home for about 3 weeks till the hand is set, because I had nobody to go to. I am alone in a PG. I can't go home. There is no home in Bombay. Blue Star called me. I had applied to them a year and a half ago. Before I joined in Calcutta, I had applied to them. Suddenly they woke up and called me. But the letter went to my first address, Hyderabad, first interview. I believe they sent another interview to Calcutta. They learned where I was and sent it to my Calcutta address. That was not answered. Finally, they traced out where I am working in Bombay and sent it to the company. The company fellows came and go, there is a cover for you here, like that. So I told him, this is the final interview. It's written very crude, absolutely rude language, that you are not appeared for first interview, you are not appeared for second interview. We are giving you another chance for a final interview. Please come. I went there with a truss, hand in a truss. They spent nearly 1.5 hours asking me about welding. They didn't ask me because they are recruiting me from an air conditioning engineering job. They asked me only about welding. I got tired of answering all those questions, asked them in the end, why are you asking these welding questions? You are not in the welding trade. The boss then answered this like this. If you are in electrical engineering, you could learn welding in this one year that you have been with this company so thoroughly. I am sure that you will also learn air conditioning with us. The lesson from this is, whatever job given, whatever task, whatever project, whatever code, whatever domain analysis, whatever you do it so thoroughly, as if that is the only work in the world for that moment, for that day. Do it better than anybody else could have done in the world for that moment. If you put the focus, it works. And air conditioning, then there I learned the first lesson in selling, which I must give my managers in Blue Star for that you are not selling a project, or you are not selling a product, you are not selling code, you are not selling software. What you are selling is a solution. There are customers who need solutions, they don't need products. So if you can give the customer, ultimate user, customer may be intermediate or ultimate user. For instance, you are designing software for railways, Indian railways. Railway is a customer. User is a fellow who buys ticket and wants to travel, right? So if you can find a solution for the customer, then you can sell. It became so bad that the company was afraid of sending me on a sales call, because I learned it so well that I used to talk to the customer not about company's product, but about their need. Why are you calling us? What is it you want to do? Is there a better way of doing this? Why do you want to spend so much money? We can do it some other way. Like that. Invariably, we could sell because I am looking at the customer, not at the company. That is a lesson which lasted me throughout my entire life, even till today. Then Blue Star is any Sindhis in this room? Blue Star is a complete Sindhi-owned company, and I used to work directly with the founders, M.T. Advani and Ram Malani, Ashok Advani and others. Thanks to them, I learned a bit of Sindhi and Kachi, both. It became apparent that the company was thinking of pushing me into a very senior role. So one of the directors' daughter who was working in the company was assigned as my assistant. And any company parties and going out and let us have coffee here, let us go for masala dosa, this girl was always pushed along with me. After a few months, it became apparent that, in fact, M.T. Advani told me that I am is on par with my son Ashok Advani, right? And you have great future here, and this and that. And slowly the credentials of the girl were being passed on to me, my friends. There used to be in Chembur in Bombay a big company called Calico Chemicals. It's no more there. And there was one guy, gentleman, Mr. Bhavnani, who was the managing director of that. The girl is a family friend's daughter, just doing work she doesn't have to work. So I am a South Indian Brahmin type, and where I am, and I'm talking of 60s, early 60s, only arranged marriage. Love means, so I had two choices. Either go ahead and ignore my parents and finish what is in the plan, or just quit the company. Another lesson I learned very early in life is, if you ever get these thoughts wherever you're working or wherever you're studying, something may be better, then you better leave the place. When the thought enters, I'll use today's words, you're cool if you're going steady. When you're steady, do you date someone else? Even if a single date will kill this relationship. Why? Because you got another thought in your mind. Instead of being focused on that person 100% or 150%, their focus goes to 90%, and 10% you are thinking other thoughts. Twice it happened to me like this. And so I said, when I am thinking that maybe I should leave this company, that thought is enough. I have to and must leave this company. Then I got into some other jobs accidentally. Then my Sadhu Bhai, I got married in between, and we established a family in Sion. My Sadhu Bhai was going to elder to me. Okay. A company was sending him to Carnegie Mellon, industrial engineering degree, and they wanted a GMAT type score. It's a management degree. You have to write 80 GSP, aptitude test for graduate study in business. So I'm in Bombay. Test center was not, he was working in Baroda. He came to Bombay to write the test. He brought with me the standard GMAT preps, Barron's Guide, Princeton Review, and things like that. And spent day and night studying them, and finally went and got a score of about some 75 percentile, 560 or so, just above the minimum required for a MBA admission in America. And he was supposed to be a very brainy guy in our Baradari. I said, well, I was riffling through the Barron's Guide and said, this is easy peasy, what is wrong with this? So next available opportunity, I took the same test. I got a very good score. This lesson is about entrance scores don't matter in life, and often they are very false. They give you false view of life itself. I got something like 745, 748 out of 800, 99.99%. It was the highest score in Asia, period. At that time, there is a small council, which is, even today, same council is in charge of doing the GMAT, GRE and all other tests, called the Graduate Management Admissions Council, GMAC. The famous guy who bombed Vietnam to death, if you know your world history, Robert McNamara, Secretary of State, he was the chairman of Graduate Management Admissions Council. Where I was working on my office telephone, a call came once, and everybody was shaking that this telephone call for you, please take, please take. I said, I was through one or two secretaries interfere. I said, Secretary of State, see, once you are ambassador, or once you have been at that level, you have to address them like secretary or ambassador. That is the protocol in America. Secretary Robert McNamara would like to talk to you if you have the time. I have all the time. Please, thank you. So he congratulated me that America welcomes you. You got potential, you got experience, you got a very high score, and you will not regret coming here. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. 5 minutes, put on the phone. He didn't give me an opportunity to talk back. Then callers went. I applied to the 10 best MBA colleges in America. Nobody replied. Score just doesn't matter. Where you're coming from, what type of company, status of your parents, can you be a future donor to the university? These are all what are known as Ivy League schools or top 10 schools, think like that. I didn't know that. Finally, after a couple of months, Harvard wrote me a letter, which I thought was an admission letter. In fact, I showed it to my friends, my wife and some brotherly. They all extracted thousands of rupees from me in parties and this and that, because he's going to Harvard parties. So then, after 10th reading, I came to understand that it is a highly politely, correctly worded rejection letter. He said, you're so great, this and that, we admire your work experience, blah, blah, 2, 3 para. Last para said, unfortunately, there are no scholarships, and you have to show in your bank balance for 2 years at the rate of $13,500 tuition for 2 years, $27,000, $10,000 each year for living expenses, $20,000, another $10,000 for emergency. Something like $50,000, $60,000 if you can show proof of finances available, you are welcome to try. However, admission is subject to further interview. Like plain simple rejection. So what? I didn't have 10,000 rupees in my bank account. Forget about $50,000 in my bank. That too a married guy. So my wife advised me, which is a wonderful advice. Wives give if you trust them and trust your spouse in most situations. She said, if your best college don't want you, let us go for the college which gives married student housing accommodation cheapest. That is my biggest expense once I go there. If I take the wife and kid along, I had my eldest son, 1.5 years old in 1970 when I went to US. Scores don't matter. The brand of the college doesn't really matter. It is your brand, what you put on yourself, that matters. The lesson which I got there. In between, lot of adventurous things I did, and we went there. We studied. My wife followed me by one semester. She took the same courses. So assignments, books, tutorial notes, everything. I finished one semester, give it to her. She will just have a jolly time and pass that semester. Like that, we spent 4.5 happy years in America. I got a job in the university also. Then the university wanted me to stay on and do a PhD. And since I had a job, then they were processing me for what is known as green card today. So stages that company employer needs me, stage 1. There is labor certification, stage 2. Stage 3 is interview and this and that. It came to that I had to go to Seattle from wherever I was working in Washington State University and appear in the Department of Immigration for interview. Afterwards, I'll stamp my passport and green card will come in the post. I was scared of one thing, that do I want to be a second-class citizen in this country, or do I have a chance of becoming a first-class citizen in my own country? And I'm talking of 1975, when I could see that America is no place to grow old in. Old people have it very, very bad there. So I decided I'm going to go back. For the wife and kid and my in-laws objected very strongly, but you have to do what you need to. Came back, became managing director of TT Krishnamacharya and Company in South. Makes lot of products: Woodward scrape water, Prestige pressure cookers, Tantex Banyan. We used to own Nicholas Labs in Siam, which we sold to Piramals, which was the starting point of their Abbott Labs venture. We owned Max Factor. And when T.T. Krishnamacharya became finance minister, we sold Max Factor. We owned Cadbury's. If you remember there was a White House at Ajiale, which is now become redevelopment. We sold that. So all these companies were under me as managing director. Max Factor, Cadbury's, and sole selling agency of Hindustan Lever, Unilever for 4 southern states. We gave it up, all that. Meantime, I came to the attention of Aditya Birla Group, which was being separated out. All the Birla families were separating for separate groups. In the period 1983 to 90, the Aditya Birla Group, his father B.K. Birla Group, then his cousins K.K. Birla Group and B.M. Birla Group in Calcutta and C.K. Birla Group in Juari Agro and others in Goa. These are being separated out. So they needed somebody who had been abroad, who can be trusted, and they think that South Indian higher types are trustworthy in giving good numbers and accounting. They won't cheat. And they also felt that they only can understand the Marwadi type of accounting. Okay. Why you are saying like this? Huh?
I am from Marwadi family, so I know about the
accounts, right? That's right. Okay. And you know about Padta?
No, sir.
अरे मारवाड़ी होके पढ़ता नहीं जानता. Padta is that anyway. So I got a call from somebody in Delhi whom I don't want to name. That please go to, when you are next in Bombay, please go to this place and meet this gentleman. So I went there. So I had an interview with a gentleman called Mr. Mahesh Chandra Bagrodia Jute Mills and other Calcutta clan, which themselves are very rich, but he is classmate of Aditya Birla and therefore working as a group executive president. He reports to Aditya Birla ji. So he interviewed me and gave me a job as chief executive of International manufacturing and trading. So after I joined, we had factories in Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, but we had nothing in the West. So my job was to create opportunities in the West. That was the job, and manage what is existing. And there was another job tied up with that. The biggest contributor in Aditya Birla Group is the Thailand operation. There was a guy called one Maheshwari ji who was appointed by his grandfather. Mr. G.D. Birla appointed him when they started the Thailand factory. So he said, I was not reporting to your father. Why will I report to you, Balaji? So you come to the board meeting or AGM when we hold it and you will get all information. I will not give you day-to-day information. What is day-to-day information? Is another lesson for you. If you are chief of any unit in the Birla Group, you are supposed to give a report to your boss of last 3 shifts production, expected revenue and actual cost for last 3 shifts. Every day, accurate to about 1,000 rupees. Every single day. Why that? And then if suppose they are making cement, then that is broken down into profit per cement bag, like that. And that profit per cement bag is known as padta. See, when you are buying something like in a bhaji market and you bargain too much, humko padvarta nahi hai, he will tell you. Padvarna is padta. So every 3 months we negotiate with the factory manager that how much profit you will give me per cement bag or per fan or per orient fan or per fridge or whatever, per unit production. And they argue back, I can control my factory, but what about raw material? Okay, we say your last 3 months, 6 months raw material prices are like this. Prices are stable, so we'll guarantee this price for you. Up and down, we'll take. For you, it is fixed price. Like that, government, electricity rate, availability, blah, blah. All big negotiation, 2-3 days it takes. Then for the next 3 months, we arrive at a padta price. So the padta sheet for the entire factory, it may be 10,000 crore turnover, we don't care, is one sheet. Top 3 quarters is what is our investment as working capital and money we have given to the company. What is the existing investment in terms of factory, equipment, building this and that. Therefore, the owner, how much return I want, okay, divided by the production expected, minus agreed cost, parta wala cost, and therefore parta per cement bag. This is top 3 quarters. Then 1 quarter, suppose parta factory manager agreed to give me 10 rupees per bags of cement as profit, and the profit is only 8 rupees. The last quarter page is about 5 lines, is why 2 rupees was lost. Okay. If profit is more, he has to write for next parta cycle whether he will be able to increase the parta on a steady basis or not. That is all the boss sees. Now I was working, and by I joined them in mid 1984 and working till 1990. The profile of what I am supervising changed completely. I had operations in Philippines, textile mills, Indonesia, viscose and rayon and nylon, Singapore, nylon and terylene, polyester, in Bangkok, tires, chemicals, carbon black, वगैरह वगैरह. In Tanzania, huge 250,000 acre teak plantation. In Greece, ferroalloys unit. In Germany, a nuclear castings unit. In Britain, specialty chemicals unit, bleaching powder, hydrogen peroxide, and that new industries were coming up requiring chemicals for processing silicon, the heart of what you are studying, how to make a silicon wafer. Before you make a chip, you need to make a wafer. So how to grow a single crystal silicon? You need special chemicals to handle that. There was a company making that, we bought the company, and that was there. And from all these places, which are about 14 hours time difference from Philippines to UK, it would have been 24 hours because we had a GM auto parts unit in Toronto for supplying parts to Canadian General Motors. So I closed that because it's too much. Another 7 hours adding time difference. No fax, no email, telexes. If you've seen a telex machine operating anyone, it is like an electric typewriter. You've seen an electric typewriter, IBM's electric typewriter. If you've seen, it is like that, suddenly it wakes up and spits out a piece of paper. That is a telex machine. So I had telex machines in my office and at my home. Because I come home still, if it is 6 here, still Europe and UK are working. So I can't miss information. So it's intolerable. So I decided to quit. Quit what? Doing what? Again, I repeat, when you feel this diversion of thought process and disturbing your focus on the work, there are three lessons here. You get employed, you get salary. What do you give in return? If you think it is only 8 hours work, you are mistaken. Because you are not giving 8 hours of work, you are giving something that works. If you put in a monkey and train it to type keys, it will generate the 1200 lines of code by the evening. But it don't work. But how do you write something that works? You have to focus. You have to think about the ultimate solution, not just the piece of work given to you. You have to be part of a team and you have to eat the brains of others. That what are you doing? What I am doing, does it marry the, or there is what I am attempting somewhere in the world, somebody has already attempted. Maybe I should search a library and take out some APKs or something like that, which you use substantially. So you have to deliver something that works. It may take 8 hours, it may take 12 hours. This is ITM culture. I started ITM in 91 and 95, I think. Yeah, 1995. I was traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad. In 91, I started in Bombay, 92 in Bangalore, 93 in Chennai, and 95 in Hyderabad and Warangal. So 95 I was coming from Bangalore to Hyderabad. I couldn't get an economy class ticket because I still travel only economy wherever I can get in India. I couldn't get, so I was in the business class and sharing. I was a big company executive, exchange cars. So I recognized, okay. So you've been coming to our ITM in, at that time ITM was in Siam, 92, 93, 95. And recruiting. You also recruit from IIMs. Why do you recruit from ITM? You are recruiting IIM. Why do you recruit from ITM? He said something was stuck in my mind, and you should remember. If I want to do a fancy presentation to some visiting delegation or some MNC or somebody, I send the IIM guy. They are very good in making presentation. But if there is some work we are doing and I need something which has to be ready, I tell the guys in evening 4 o'clock, look, we are missing this. I need this to be completely ready by next day morning 9 o'clock. I locate the ITM guy and ask him, come here, sit and do this. And he will say, yes, sir, I will do it. And he will do it before 9 o'clock next day. That means for never saying no, doing the impossible by the given deadline is a DNA of ITM. How we got there is also interesting question. Any MBA is supposed to be having some 900, 700 contact hours. And in America, it is only 12 courses. In India, maybe about 18, 20 courses. When I started ITM MBA, PGDM in Siam in 1991, in 2 years, 6 trimesters, no break. Each trimester, 6 courses. So those kids did 36 courses in 2 years. They worked their butts off to a nice shiny table like totally. When you work like that, any work any company gives you is what? Easy peasy. So when there is no USP, you have to create one. That USP, the ITM guys work very, 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 very hard. Right? So this is how you do things. Started ITM. How did I starting this game? That also I must tell you. I like to teach. Obviously, I'm talking to you and you're listening to me. I see some smile, somebody nodding heads, and this guy always, this Hindi gentleman, young fellow here, nodding his head. Because in a business sense, I think he is in tune with me. I'm saying that. And I love to teach. I taught evening courses in Bajaj, in Wellington when they were in Siam, and some couple of other places also in SPJ. My favorite subjects were consumer behavior, marketing strategy, corporate strategy. These are subjects. And I used to teach them with practical experience of having done it. Marketing strategies. Strategies are too different for each location. When I joined TTK in Chennai, they had one unit almost shut down because, knitting industry in South is in India especially is concerned in Kolkata and Tirupur, south of Coimbatore. They started a knitting industry in a town called Virudhunagar near Trichy. It's the wrong place. There are no textile industry there. They are suffering. When I joined there as managing director after I returned from America, I said, why this unit should suffer? Because it's most profitable. In a cut banyan, knit banyan, there is about 80 grams of cotton. It requires only spinning. You need only yarn. You don't do anything else. Knitting machine will give you the complete fabric in one go. Nothing. So 80 grams of cotton, even today the cotton prices are hovering around maybe 100 rupees a kilo, 150 rupees a kilo. 80 grams is less than 80 rupees worth of cotton in that. Knitting costs 5 rupees, stitching costs 3 rupees, less than 100 rupees for one banyan. Retail price of banyan is 400 rupees. So box of 12, dozen packing we used to sell wholesale. I could afford to sell it at a very cheap price, ex-factory, and company had no money for marketing. Big competitors were Victor from Bombay, VIP and Victor from Bombay, Kajori from Calcutta, and Crystal from Coimbatore. Our brand is Dantex. It is not selling. What to do? Marketing strategy. Lesson I'm telling you, you have to adapt. To adapt to any given situation. How do you adapt? So I found that also it is complicated by this knitting industry runs because it is divided in terms of demographics and historical communities. Okay. In South, the South Indian Modaliyars, the weaving community, there almost all the factories are owned by them. But almost all the wholesalers called hosieri, they are Muslims, Bohri Muslims. Even in Mamdali Road, they are the wholesalers. And it runs on trust. So the wholesaler picks up from the thing, payable, winnable basis, gives to the retailer, who is again some brotherly cousin, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Or at least share a town, Meerut, this, that, and things like that. Some known fellow, they will give on consignment basis. So once a month or once a week, they settle accounts. And then after 2-3 months, the money goes back to the factory. So this is a cycle. This is a high volume item nobody minds. You always need some underwear, male, female, doesn't matter. I said, since the margin in the business is so high, can I cut this? How do you cut it? So I told my factory that I am reserving 2 days in a week for you. I am the MD, managing director. In South, managing director is like a god, let me tell you that. The company gave me a 12,000 square feet bungalow, in which another 4,000 square feet was 4 flats for my servant. That is how MD situation there in South. So I'll come with you. We load samples in an ambassador car trunk, take the accountant, myself, within 4-hour driving distance of Chennai, all the villages and towns. We keep going and start early morning 5:36. By the time we hit the last town, 4-hour distance, is already 9-ish, 10-ish there. Go and have a idli dosa breakfast there. All South India, what else you can eat? Go to the first wholesaler or retailer. Go to the main street. Look at how do you locate to whom? By the size of the board. Bigger the frontage, the bigger the dealer. Okay. Go there and offer. You are buying like this, buying like this. If you pay cash, okay, I will give 1,000. I am just giving illustrated prices. Actual price in 1981 was, I offered them wholesale dozen box for 200 rupees. Retail price was something like 30 rupees is 360, 400 like that retail price. He said, why should I pay you cash? I said, you are now selling at, say, let us say 30 rupees. You are buying from me at cash at 20. What's wrong? You buy in the morning, liquidate your stock at 25 rupees or 30, 28 rupees by the evening. The trading mind works very fast, faster than a producing mind. Please remember this always. Trading minds are more alert, more faster. I have a Marwari Bahu, Nitin's wife, and his daughter Trisha. She is in 11th standard now. If you say that I have lent money at 16 and 2/3 for 8 months of 100 and say 1,005, 1,58,750, and it returned only after 6 months, only returned 1 lakh. What is the balance due and what is the interest due on the balance due after 6 months? She will get and tell me, no, grandpa, this will be, balance will be around 75,343.25 paisa. She doesn't need calculator, she doesn't need pen and pencil. Marwari way of accounting. You break down everything. First take 10%, then take half of that 5%, then take 1%. That makes 16%. Then 1/3, 2/3, उतना ले लो, वो product मिल जाएगा आपको. तो ये सब mentally होता है, okay? And that odd sum also, you take 1 lakh, you take 50,000, you take 10,000. So for 1,000 you get, multiply by 8, you get for 8,000. Like that, take, addition, subtraction, mentally, okay? So they can give exact interest, exact rate, exact discount, exact profit margin, everything mentally. So I used to tell them, look, my godown will be open 24 hours. You either bring demand draft or hard cash, right? You don't go to the godown. Come to the managing director's residence. I've got this 4,000 square feet surround quarter. I cleared out one room as an accountant by shifts, three accountant by shifts. They receive the money, give you a delivery order. Go to the godown, collect, come back here. There were people who are rotating their money 3 times a day. And the result, after a year, our languishing 50 lakhs a year, 1 crore a year sales went up to 16 crores a year. And in 3 years, I remember, each year I attended more than 100 marriages of these dealers who became Lakpatis and Crorpatis by a single article, one banyan. You can do the math yourself. We started out with just 1,000 rupees capital on day one, how it will multiply. And we did it without advertising, by word of mouth, because money I put into quality instead of advertising. You have to adapt market. This is what I was teaching. Then there was a guy called one Mr. Sheikh, I think, Wellington Institute ka registrar, who used to sit late to accommodate the visiting faculty. Some of them are very senior. But another visiting faculty who was the first Indian general manager of any pharmaceutical company in India. Till that time, all general managers were British expats. He was managing director of Main Baker, then Repticos Bread, then Glaxo. Okay, Dr. M.K. Shenoy, first Indian general manager. He was also teaching there. We used to take good care of chai, biscuit, vagera before we went home. Evening classes 7 to 9. By 9 you are hungry, and you can't miss, because at home wife is there. I am hungry. She is very hot. So he used to pacify that with some chai biscuit. And during that, discussion came. Can an individual start an institution and survive? When you get asked this question, some fundamental truths emerge. The way things are going, after you graduate, if you graduate nicely from here, that depends on what you do and what you learn, and not what you do and what you learn, but what you can deliver. Delivering is different from doing and learning. Doing a project is different. Can you deliver? Can you go one step higher and be on par with industry? That is what delivery is. For instance, delivery means Zomato and Swiggy and Flipkart now, Big Bazaar, the Blinkit, 10-minute delivery from order to this. Can you do 5-minute delivery? What kind of system will enable 5-minute delivery? What kind of on-ground infra that will enable? How many stock points you can hold? How do you predict based on the area, demographics, what kind of things they will order? Can you use AI there? Can you develop algorithms? From a consumer's purchasing cycle, before the fellow orders, is this material already dispatched? For a silly item like, suppose I'm a chain smoker, I smoke 10 packs a day. That can be constantly on delivery mode only, no? That is an extreme example. But then there were current examples. Suppose big millet fashion ho gaya. Millet in short supply. And after 3 months, the algorithm discovered that this household is ordering 3 kilos of millets every month. And next time they order, suppose they order a bit late and they are not delivered, I will lose these customers. They will go to some other outlet. Can as the predicted date of reorder comes, can I keep it packed with the address slip on it? Amazon does it. I found that the items we order regularly for household consumption are coming to me within 3 or 4 hours. Right? And even now, people are awake to one-time purchase only. They are predicting. They are sure of the product. So, some couple of months ago, somebody went on a holiday to South and stayed in a coffee estate. Coffee estates have big British bungalows. They're converted as a boutique hotels for staying. So they produce coffee which is a single estate coffee. If you go to new outlets called Third Wave or Blue Tokai, they don't sell Colombia or Arabica or whatever it is. From South, they single estates. So they have about 10 different branch estates. So somebody brought back a sample. It's so good that I called them up and ordered. And he started asking question, how many people are there who will drink coffee, how many times you drink, this and that. And the first time I ordered, the delivery time was 3 weeks. Second time I ordered within 1 day. So there are people working, developing their systems to predict how much coffee would be consumed, when I will be. See, it depends on my risk factor, Will I order 1 week ahead or will I order just 1 day ahead? Okay. So delivery is of the essence. So coming back to, can an individual start institution? No money. And then I talked to Kothingachadar. The common factor in this discussion was, you need at least a minister or if not one MLA. Okay. You need land and you have to be able to build minimum 20,000, 30,000 square feet starter building. And then expenses, this, that. I said political support plus 3 to 5 crores of rupees, the minimum required to start something. This was the word in 1990. I don't have the money. So what is next? What is equivalent to money? Many of you will be faced with this question. And he is already seized of this question. He constantly needs money. We don't have money. What is the next best thing to money? Can you give me an answer? What is next equivalent to money or even better than money? Loud. Are you a businessman or are you a student? I am a businessman. I want to start something. I don't have money. Huh? Trust. Huh? Network. Product is already there. What else? Team. Huh? People who can generate money. Yeah. Still we are quite far from the field. Nothing has hit the bullseye yet. When you want to start something, the first thing you do is study the damn business first. So I want to start an MBA college institution because I'm quitting Aditya Birla Group. That is certain. I already gave my resignation. So can I start a college without things? So I started. How our college started? How is Ruye College? How is Podar College started? Started some 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago by somebody called Section Prasar and Mandali by a group of reformers. Like that, it grew and grew and grew. So how did HR college start? How did KG college start? How is SIA started? Like that. Then go abroad and see how are the American universities started. Can we draw a growth curve for them? So it happens that all institutions, regardless wherever they are and what they do, there are 3 or 4 phases. There is a startup period and they struggle till they receive a big shot of money, either a private donor or a government. Then they build infra and things like that. Once the infra and things are there, then companies and technology people start, hey, this is a good place. So you have a tie-ups network and then grows. And students come there because infra is there, tie-ups are there, foreign collaborations are there. This must be good. So I thought that I don't have money, therefore I don't have land, I have no network. I have no network simply because I am the top of the network. I was the highest paid executive in India in 1989-90. I was drawing a salary of 50 lakhs taxable, non-taxable benefits another 50 to 60 lakhs. And operating Diwali time performance bonus, hard cash, what is known as Gujarati word Chandla. You know Chandla? Khushi se deta hai. A briefcase containing anywhere 20 lakhs to 50 lakhs hard cash. Shagun time mein. So Lakshmi Pujan, Babuji ka ghar mein Lakshmi Pujan ka din, all the best performing managers are called. According to them, briefcases are handed over. No questions asked. I am quitting that job. So I can't afford to invest my savings. I have 2 growing sons. Okay? And I do have a demanding and forceful wife. She is not a stay-at-home kind of a thing. So what do? I said, if the things which give credibility in education institution is a foreign collaboration with a very good name brand foreign university, can I get the collaboration first? That is the equivalent of having money. If a collaboration agreement, the agreement itself is sellable and anyone will give me a place to run. So again, like the MBA admission search, now searching for a foreign university which will give collaboration to a non-existing institution. There is no name, no registration, no trust, no money, no student, no faculty. We want collaboration. But always think, when you want to do something interesting or different, you must always think that you are not alone. If you think you are super crazy, there are 10 other super crazy people in this world. Okay, if you're crazy enough to start something new, you'll find somebody crazy enough to invest in. Okay, I remember we occupied these premises in 2001. The architect who designed these buildings was P.K. Das, who became a big social architect. But he is the chief consulting architect for Adani Group. Okay. So one day he talked about me to, because my life is interesting, he talked about me to Gautam Adani, and myself, my wife were invited to have lunch with them in their Ahmedabad house. There they had one guest living with them, a South Indian gentleman who was working on payments on phone. Year is 2001. How do you send money from one phone to another? So he also joined us during lunch table because he was a house guest. The idea is so valuable that he was not allowed to live outside. He was kept in their house only and working. So it's a crazy idea. Paying from phone to phone in 2001, 22 years ago. When did Aadhaar come? 10 years ago, roughly. Without a individual identity number, which is permanent and doesn't change, and it is linked to a bank account or a passport or a phone number, then only these transfers are possible. And the infra doesn't exist. So we're drawing. So I said that you want to pay for your phone in a logical way, it is possible, but the infra doesn't exist. They said, no, why not? It can be done. It can be done. You can link up to a bank account. But bank account may be invariable, but phone numbers are not. Suppose you have prepaid phone, you throw away and get one more SIM card, no? So how do you link a phone to a bank account? You need a third thing, which two unchanging things can be linked, then a third one can be variable. And a person need not have only one bank account, you'll have multiple bank accounts. So there should be minimum 3 variables in that to get a fix. I think this is not there. They didn't agree, and Adaniji didn't like what I was saying because he owed a lot of funding to that person. The person I met in 2002 in Gautam Adani's lunch table, Gautam Adani, Mrs. Adani, myself, Lalita, my wife, and this gentleman. His name is Tyagaraj Chettiar, first cousin of Chidambaram Chettiar. So, who is funding whom, you can find. But coming back to credibility issue. So, I struck to his mind, I must get foreign collaboration. So, I wrote again, no internet, no? So, in 1989-90, the software boom still has not happened. That is, year 2000 has not approached, what you call two problem. I went to American Library, asked for the 100 top universities list, gathered addresses, made a small proposal, 5-page proposal. Why 5-page proposal? Because foreign speed post goes by weight. If it is less than 200 grams, there is a fixed rate. Okay, it is double from 200 grams to 500 grams. Again, triple or 4 times from it exceeds 500 grams. So I remember that each letter cost me 1600 rupees to go on a speed post basis to America. 100, no reply. Again, next 100, no reply. That is why I tell my people who are working with me, till you have tried 10,000 times, don't come and tell me that it is not working. You have to try 10,000 times. Why 10,000 times? In art, any instrument, any 10,000 घंटे का साधना से ही पंडित बनते. And they keep on doing. They keep on doing every day. Okay. Next 100. Third 100 में luck, ting ting, bell बजाए. कैसा? There was a university called Southern New Hampshire University near Boston. A new president has been appointed there, and that is already 1990, 130-year-old university. Later on, I found their credentials was very good. They were doing the executive MBA for US military services, US Army, Navy, Air Force. At a certain level, when you are promoted to an executive position, like a captain of a nuclear submarine or something like that, or commanding one garrison or one base, that is, a management admin is also involved. So you have to do this 1-year executive MBA. They were doing it exclusively. That means all American military, using that explanation from 1990 to 95, every year you used to get 10 students from US, Marine Commandos, SEALs, Special Forces people who are supposed to operate all over the world. 10 of them, they from the seconded by the military. They used to come, all fees paid, nicely well dressed, very well behaved. But they stopped after governments have changed. Anyway, so the founder is a stockbroker. Stockbroking is accounting is very interesting because he takes money from you to trade. It is both your money and his money also. So he gives one set of accounts to you, keeps another set of accounts for himself, how he is using my money. Then he has to give account to stock exchange control, the SEBI or some people of their activity. Then in that there are three things: my money, his original money, my money which he has got a kabja for a period of time, and others' money, speculative. Simply people trust. Like even till today, there are many real estate people whom you can trust. Therefore, you can buy what is known as kacha mal. On the day of Bhumi Pujan, you give somebody and here is 50 lakhs. Whatever price you are deciding, equivalent area I will get. But that is the lowest rate get, kacha mal kharidna. Like that, even stock market, kacha mal ka dhanda chalta hai. And what you know, curb trading. After stock exchange closes, you trade on the streets outside the stock exchange, Bombay. Now it is online curb. Official is closed, but online still goes on. They only change the timestamp afterwards. Okay. So writing accounts for a stockbroker is so tricky. So he wanted to start his own college. First, stockbroking firm accountants training course. He started, grew big, got a license, started doing other things connected with law and civil and criminal as affects stock market, law of contract, law of this, law of that. Does a share really represent the asset of the company? Okay. Are classes of shares and litigation in share manipulation? So legal. Like that, college grew. But he wrote, his name is Walter Shapiro, a Jewish stockbroker. He wrote in his founding document, which he made somewhere in 1830 or whatever. He wrote one line: the experience, knowledge, and teaching methodology developed by the people who manage this college should not be for citizens of America alone. You should try everything to spread this knowledge across the globe, because then the trade with America will increase and even our income also will increase. And whenever a new president of a university changes, the board of regents were saying this is the founder's instructions. Out of these instructions, one to some box, this we are already doing, this we have not done. So what do you propose to do about it? One of them was to go outside America, one of them. So within the first week, my letter landed up there. And a board of regents are already met the day before or something. He had a sitting with them. This box is hunting in his mind. So he wrote a letter to me. It's interesting. If by chance you are coming to America, please come and see me. That's all. What by chance? This is the only invitation I got after writing 300 letters. So next flight I went, blah, blah, blah. Then standard, their legal, their academic affairs, dean and this and that. They were puzzled. Because they are stuck by saying, you want to start something, you don't have anything, you want our collaboration. I said, I'm bound to do it, either with you or somebody else's collaboration. So you think that I'm giving you first chance, think like that. After I have everything, I will have 10 chances. Now you have only one chance and that you can take. Interesting negotiations spread over 2 days. Then they thought how to get rid of me, because my CV is good. I've traveled, I've done this, I've done that and everything. Like they can't say no, you can't do it. They can't say that. So they said we don't want to put any money in it. It's fine. I also don't want you to put. I am not putting money in it. Why would I want you to put money in it? Doesn't work, no. Then they said, how are we sure that you'll really put the college and this and that? Therefore, even though MBA is 2 years, we'll give you collaboration only for 1 year. If you survive second year, then we'll see. I said, fine. They were puzzled. Then after lunch, their legal department came with another condition. They said, you're fine and we are impressed with what you are saying and you are passionate about doing this. And we have hopes that you will succeed. Okay. We'll give our collaboration, this and that. But we want some kind of insurance. He said, why? That president was quite honest about it. We may not be ranked top 10 or top 20 in America, but we have our own credentials. And the fact that we deliver our product to the US military and we've been suing for 25 years, that shows that professionally we are good. Otherwise, why will they continue? So we want to safeguard our name. For safeguarding our name, we want the right to fire you from ITM at any time we choose. And I asked him, why is that? I said, suppose it becomes a success also. You collect some money, 10,000 applications come, collect money and vanish. Then what happens? Students have to be taught. They have paid the money. That burden will come on us. There will be litigation. There will be loss of prestige, loss of reputation, damages, this and that. How can we face that? So if on the first smell of that kind of a thing, we'll fire you and put our own man and run. I said, fine. Then the president asked me, why are you so confident? I said, I never failed in my life. Why will I fail here? This is very, very easy for me to do. Why are you saying that? I said, your company's turnover, your college turnover was only $50 million. Till last month, I was managing a turnover of $1.4 billion spread across 10 countries. So this job is nothing for me in terms of the work to be done. It's controlling, it's supervising it, putting right people in right place. So that is how we started in 1991. Then we found that Somaya, they just built a new management building called SIMSR, they call it, SIMSR. And we found a visiting professor who was teaching there and full time and teaching here part time along with me. He said, I will take you to the management. So fine. I convinced them. I met the current head of that family, Samir Somaya. His father, Shantilal Somaya, I met. And he asked me how much you will give. I said, I can't give you anything like that, but I can give you 10% of revenue. They agreed. So they allowed me to share class. Everything is, running college in Vidyavihar, Somaya College in Vidyavihar. A huge campus. Canteens are there, everything is there. Computer labs, you name it. What we needed was a small office room, about 1/4, about 10 by 10 or 10 by 20, one office room for our control. They didn't have a good management library, and I wanted our own computer lab. These are problems, these are materials, it's solvable. We entered. How we saw, again, no money. Please remember, computer lab, we had to buy 30 computers, expensive in those days, PCs. And each PC with its monitor, blah, blah, being quoted at 70,000 rupees, about 20 lakhs worth of thing at that time. Big things, big tower, things like that. So I went to the Ghatkopar West side station, Canara Bank is there. I went and met the Canara Bank manager. Because this Vidyavihar, this college accounts were there. They said, I joined you, I got a foreign collaboration, this and that. I need to buy 30 computers and attach with 2 or 3 printers, this and that, 25 lakhs. I can give you a loan, but what are the assets? Computers are the assets you can take. I need some guarantee. I said, the guarantee I will not give because I worked for 6.5 years in Birla's. Birla's never gave me any guarantees. No Birla will sign on a guarantee paper, period. I also don't want to sign on any guarantee. How to do that? And what is known as a deferred payment scheme in some small industries, some scheme is there. But you have to buy from not a big brand, but somebody assembling in a registered small industry assembler you have to buy. And we can give you 90%. But if you ask him to over invoice, so he invoices you for 110 rupees, we pay him only 100 rupees and he should be happy with that. Okay. Then you will get your computer. That's exactly what we did. Okay. It turned out that assembler was another professor in the Somaya Engineering College who was assembling a small unit, assembling computers. I said everything worked. Library, big problem. You need at least 500,000 books in a room like this. Is it small library? Management is the most expensive. Average cost 500,000 rupees. Don't money. You can't get a bank loan. What to do? I remembered when I was chief executive in Aditya Birla Group, I had cards for exclusive areas like in Taj Mahal Hotel there's called Taj Chambers. And again in Oberoi, there is another place called a Rendezvous or something like that. Only if you carry their card by invitation, you can enter there. So I had this card. Using the card, I sent invitation to the managing directors of Prentice Hall, Wiley Eastern, and McGraw Hill. That you're invited for a small function at high tea, so and so. Anybody inviting for a high tea in Taj Chamber, they won't deny, they all came. So I said, this is my problem. I'm starting educational institution. I need some 5-10 lakhs worth of books there. 1,000 books at 1,000 rupees is 10 lakhs. And nobody will give me a loan for it. But for your company, it is stock in trade. You are already carrying your stock of books, various books. Any big publisher will be having crores worth of book stock. Bank have funded you for that. When you release some from that, you need money to repay off that loan. So, but I can't pay. So how do we solve this problem? They thought, and one of them had a good idea. Lesson here is, when you can't solve a problem, there are others who can solve it, but you have to get them to share your problem, right? I said, I am a consumer. You find a solution for this. Believe me, I said, this year, in addition to this 10 lakhs worth of library books, I want to give a book kit to all the students. That is another 10 lakhs. Okay. So, and maybe in 10 years, I will be buying, instead of 10 lakhs, I will be buying 10 crores worth of books from you. So they thought, and they were whispering among themselves, and I could hear a little bit. Then I said that, sir, I know that the margin in this trade is nearly 50%. Okay. Even the retail fellow is giving me 10% discount as a courtesy. Okay. And sometimes sale prices, I will find the same books at half the price on Flora Fountain streets. Good books, hardbound, beautiful books. I said, when so much margin is there, I don't want big margin, but you cut the chain and give me about, say, 20% discount only. You keep 30%. So they liked the idea. They called a retired book distributor called Sevantilal Shah, Gujarati guy. He had worked all his life, but he is retired, and his son is just entering the business. Called him and said that we are appointing as the exclusive distributor to ITM, but since they can't pay on dot, you maintain the library, date of receipt, and say, what I agreed is I will pay in 6 equal installments. Okay, 6 months like that. You keep the accounts, you write the check, you get it signed by this gentleman with this crazy idea, and we'll try to cash them. It works. So they created a new company called Books Unlimited, only for ITM. And Sevantilal Shah used to come and sit in our library, original, first in Sion, then in the college basement, then in next door IME building before we coming here. He used to be, he and his family members used to be our librarians. Check the receipt of all books and find out which amount have to pay it, 6 quarter payments, 6 months. Keep the account, get the checks prepared, get my signature and deliver it to the publishers, and it is a nice business. That is how it started. That is how ITM was started. If ever you are starting something, don't think that money is the ingredient you need. You need 3 things. First thing you need to know is the people, right from Aryabhata and other Gregorian calendar and all these people who have said that there are 24 hours in a day, they are all wrong. Totally wrong. Many days contain 48 hours, some days contain 72 hours also. Please remember that. The first thing you need to know. The work you can do is not limited by the number of hours in a day. Never. And it is also true that what somebody says, this work requires 5 hours of work, is not true. It can be done in 5 minutes also. You have to know how to do it. Like there is an example of my Marwari blood sharing granddaughter. If you have the method, it will be easy. If you know the direction, it will be easy. Time is wasted in finding the direction, not doing the actual work. And is very, very true in software, IT, systems related, any systems related activity. Why I am talking systems is no more about code. Code for every possible action piece is already written. There are libraries containing millions of routines. Okay, you have to write simple things to join them up, but you have to know what you are doing. And this is what I bother your friend here, Sai, with. I suddenly think, can you have a bookshelf? Can you have a assistant? Like that. So you think of ideas, think of the routing, and think of systems that work, not code that works to deliver one output. That approach died in Fortran. Fortran gave only an output. It never gave a system. you look at Fortran 4 programming textbook, it always about getting a desired output only from the machine. What you need to punch in, do, get, else, or else, return. That's all commands. And you have to understand the chip instruction set properly before you write the damn thing. Okay. And you have to get inspiration, flashes of inspiration. So there are no hours. First thing. Second thing, you don't worry about money. It is your idea and how well it provides a solution to the market that counts. Money is stupid. Money is like if you put like marbles on a sloping, always flow. So you have to create the slope so money can flow towards you. And the slope is how effective and how high is your idea is, and how all others are lesser height than you. If the slope is towards you, money will flow. As simple as. And mostly never put your own money in any damn thing. Use OPM, other people's money. Okay. So that is how we got a start. Then another 5-10 minutes maybe. First year was a grand success. We got 120 students. Second year was proving to be even better. Then the Somayas of Somayajar got greedy. They went to America and told my collaborator that I am the person owning this big campus. I am the person owning this building. I am the person. They just come in like a cuckoo in a nest and that. So his idea was to transfer your collaboration to me. This is the real college. They wind him and dine him. This is America. If you go to America, you'll be exposed to this a lot. People are extremely polite, especially to a foreigner who thinks you are below them. They are very, very polite and very kind and all that. So they're very polite and kind to this gentleman, Shantilal Somaya. Wind him and dined him, introduced him to the mayor and Chamber of Commerce and everything. 2 days he was raising his collar and roaming around. Last day, 1 hour before he was to get a flight back to India, they told him, we have a legal agreement with Professor Ramana. Please go and talk to him. He got maha pissed off and barred me from the campus and tried to freeze my account and blah, blah, blah. Students protested. And one of them had a really bright idea. Sir, why we are paying rent here and doing this here? You know, nearest station, Vidyavihar station is there. No trains ever stop in Vidyavihar. It is only a slow train station. But it has everything that a campus needs. What do you mean everything? It has got benches, it has got fans, it has got lights, it has got canteen. Most important part, it has got canteen. What else do you need in a college like that? So after 1 year, we shifted to SIS. Stayed there for 3-4 years. We became big. We went to Ramravadi College. So D.Y. Patil himself met me, this current D.Y. Patil. So I sent my card, Professor P.V. Ramana. So he said, what are you, this and that? Are you Telugu gentleman? Yes, I am Telugu, Andhra. He is the PVG related to you. PVG means who got Bharat Ratna, P.V. Narasimha Rao. I lied a bit. I said, maybe the distant relatives are only my parents know the relationships in our clan. I don't know any. I don't know really. I don't know. He may be the same PV. I really don't know that. These relationships only my elders know. And we have gone out of the village for such a long time that things like that. So he thought, why take a risk? He called Ajinkya and told me, usko thoda basement mein jagah hai. So Ramravadi College basement. We shifted. Then we got too big for that. And this plot was given to us. Took 3 years in construction. 2001 we shifted. In between 1991 and 2001. 91 Bombay, 92 Bangalore, 93 Chennai, 95 Warangal, 97 I started a college called Jagannath Institute of Technology and Management in Orissa. Why? Because P.V. Narasimha Rao got elected from Berhampur constituency. As is custom in our household, we went there to give him pranam that you got elected. He has a habit of starting colleges wherever he stands for election, gets elected. Ramtek, Kavikula Guru Tilak College, and Warangal, another. So, when today J.B. Patnaik, old leader, big leader, and Narasimha Raju and others were sitting, we did pranam and gave him bouquet and was to come. Tell Professor, what do you want? We want to start a college. What do you want to do here? Then key here is when somebody says something and it is an opportunity, don't waste even a second to grab it. Don't waste a second. Lakshmi bol ke nahi aati hai. Aate hai to haath pakad ke chalna hai. J.B. Patnaik was there. Sir, I am willing to start something here, but can Chief Minister Patnaik ji is here. Can you give me autonomy on day one? I got collaboration, foreign collaboration MBA without having anything. इतना तो पूछ सकता है ना? Can I get total autonomy from day one? Narasimha is there. He is the damn Prime Minister of the country. What else he can do? He said yes. So I bought 100 acres of land near Parlak Himandi and started JITM. But things came too far. Oriya, non-Oriya feeling. In Bombay, nobody thinks like that. Come make your money and employ 4 people, you are good. You have gun, you shoot 4 people, then also you are good. Okay? Or you grow a moosh and a big nice beard and put a big tilak and go around like that, then also you are good. So Bombay is, Hey Bombay Mere Gaon. Yaad hoga aapko purana wala song. So I gave it up to somebody coming from Singapore with investment. Became a very nice university, known as Centurion University. Nice one. Then we got shifted in this building. 2012 we started university in Raipur. Again, these things are all stories like that. I met Ajit Jogi, the then Chief Minister. He was welcoming education, Private University Act. कुछ proposal लेके आए क्या? Nothing. कुछ brochure आए. I had 1-page flyer ITM admissions के लिए तो बनाया था. I got this. I come for exploration. Why exploration? Take a license, no? He said. Then on my brochure, he wrote to Secretary Higher Education, please issue letter of intent. At 11 o'clock, I met the Chief Minister in his cabin. By evening 5 o'clock, they issued the letter of intent. Then I had the presence, but the section officer who was to give it in proper typing letter, he took 5,000 rupees. I said, how many such licenses have been given? 130. I said, ये तो retail business हो गया है. So let us wait. So we waited 2 years. Then later on we bought land. We started the university in 2012. Then 14 we started the university in Baroda. In 22 this became this campus and whatever institutions we have in Bombay all together became the skills university. That is the journey. What is the characteristic of this entire journey? Please remember, I am not IITian, I am not IIMian. I voluntarily ran away from USA. I did 2 times ran away. I ran away from my home in Hyderabad to Calcutta. I ran away from USA to India. Twice. It paid me off very well. You need to know what you are doing. Get fully 100% convinced. In spite of, please remember, if 1% says no, it is maybe. If 10% no, perhaps there is something in this. If 1,000 people say no, it is really, really valuable if you can do it. Can you control a satellite ISRO launches from your smartphone? No. How valuable it is if you can do it? You have to try, no? Apple has already some models in US which can receive satellite signals. You read about it?
Yes.
This is another thing you must do. If I know things which you don't know, where is the parity here? I am 84 years old. I am probably 4 times your age. You know how much reading, how much exposure I need to be able to talk to you guys in your subject? I set myself a goal when I came to Bombay in 1961-62 that grown up in a village and my father doing government job, I have 0 exposure. I set up a goal. I want to read 1,000 pages every week, not novels. Something of substance which will aid my knowledge. Anything. Anywhere, waiting, railway station, airport, this, that. If nothing is there, I used to read the telephone directory. The buyer's guide gives you a lot of information. What kind of things are available, where they are. Read, observe. And you got access. You can access anything in the world and read. Few years ago, we were trying to start a course in dental assistant in Panvel. There is no such course in India. There is no curriculum. I searched and said, where did I find the curriculum? US military, for returning officers to put them back in civilian life, has a huge number of courses for which detailed dental assistant 1-year course, 300 working days, 300 into 8 hours, 2,400 working hours, hour by hour curriculum, available freely on the internet. You have to go into us.gov site, keep on searching. Many times government site will blank you off. But the free sites you have to navigate and search and you find the curriculum. That is how we started that course. So you have to, second thing is you have to know more than the person whom you meet in their own work. You have to know, please remember this. If you're meeting somebody to sell something or talk something or consult something or get their help, before you meet, you have to know more about that company, that domain, that function than the damn general manager there knows. You have to know more than. Third thing, you have to believe in yourself. Nobody can shake that belief. Remember 10,000 times. After failing 10,000 times, then you say, okay, this idea is shit. I'll start new idea. But then to 10,000 times, you have to do in as short as time possible. That is why 72 hours in a day, 1,000 hours in a week. You have to test it out and test and come to the success or failure. If you have these commitments, these are only plain and simple commitments. I'm not asking you whether you have IQ of 200 or not. That doesn't matter at all. Never think that somebody coming from IIT, IIM or some foreign is better than you. I am better than everybody else I meet. In I think 2014 or 15, I think that same Graduate Management Admissions Council organized a conference of American Association of University Presidents, all 200 of them in Boston. I got an invite to come and speak. I said I charge $10,000 and business class fares and 5-star accommodation for 2 people for 3 days. Then I will come and speak. Okay, you make a demand. They want you to come and speak. No, so what I am to speak must be valuable. You are my own kid. That way I speak freely. I will charge you $10,000. Therefore, they sent. Then in 2014, by the time IT is already there, so they said that we experienced pharma from India, we experienced IT from India. What is the next? They asked me because I am from India. I said next in line pipeline from India is sheer management talent. In the next 10 years, next quarter century, half of you, 200 people who are sitting here will be Indians. American university presidents will be Indians. Half of American corporations, Fortune 500 corporations will be managed at CEO level by Indians. This is the challenge you will face. Sheer management talent. You will be better off shifting your entire office to India only. That I said, somebody was saying, is this not a slightly arrogant way of saying these things? I said, truth is always blunt. Truth is never soft or polished or anything like that. Truth is truth, however you may see it. You will experience it in your own life. So why should I hide the truth from you? How can you say that? Yes, I've lived and worked in America. I've lived and worked in India. I know what I can do. I know what you can do. Then what is the difference? I said, you are better as a team. We are better as individuals. That is the difference. The day when India learns to work better in teams as well as individually also, we will be on top of the world, which is the transformation which is happening in the last 10 years. Can you believe in the prediction that by year 2030, India will reach 17 trillion? Not 5, not. There will be only 3 players then left in the world, US, China and India. How do you live in a very strong developed country? What that country needs is going to happen when the peak of your performance levels when you are 30, 35, no? That's what is happening. So what kind of goods and services that country needs? What kind of systems this country needs? Today's Times of India Gadkari statement you saw that we are already having by end of 24 and 25 more 4-lane divided expressways than entire America has got. America by size is about what? 4 times geographically. Then their roadway system, our roadway system will be same. So what systems? What services? What goods? In which way? Because you have chosen this route of information handling. Many companies are discovering. For instance, many insurance companies are redefining what is our business. Earlier they think that somebody has bought a ship or a car, there is a risk. So we evaluate the risk, collect premium. No, they are not thinking like that anymore. They are thinking our business is to collect humongous loads of information and process it and arrive at risk level for each type of consumer, each type of geography, each type of work. So our business is business of knowledge and ability to process humongous amounts of information. That's what thinking of. Domino's Pizza, what is their core principle? What is the core thing which drives their profitability? It is not the quality of the pizza. It is information systems. You can see on a screen what happens when you see them. You see the little motorcycle fellow going and coming and trying, going here and there, not finding your address properly. It is systems-driven company. So can you think of new types of systems? Now, company, systems, consumer. Can you think of systems, consumer, company? So people owning systems own the consumers. Therefore, companies are obligated to the people who own the systems. If you look at the story of Elon Musk, this is his story. He owns the platforms, he owns the systems. He is not a fool to bring 1,000 satellites in a network. He wants to own the systems. So what system he will own? Think like, may your 4-year journey be very happy. That is my blessing to you. And may all your days be having 48 hours. That is also my blessing. Thank you.